Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on how to get this prom look. It's very neutral, very smoky, very easy. It's just a couple of shadows all from one palette. It's a little bit of blending. It looks like it's challenging, but it's one of those effortless, timeless looks that you could do for a wide range of different dress colors and themes for your proms. Hope you guys learn a little bit from this tutorial, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so first disclaimer, one of my neighbors is really into plucking the base apparently, so he's really fingering that base right now at noon on a Wednesday. And also everyone's doing yard work for whatever reason. Nobody has a job, I guess. I mean, I don't have a job, but I don't expect other people not to have jobs. Anyway, I also have one eye done off camera, just so I had a guide for what I wanted to do, and the palette that I'm going to be using today is the Tarte Pro palette. It is the large one with all of these shadows. I've used this a lot on my channel, and I know you guys are probably tired of seeing it, and I promise to be using some palettes in future videos that are more accessible and that more people have, but for this tutorial I was just focused on doing something that was very common for the prom season, which is a nice dark smoky mauve eye. It's just all about blending shadows and taking your time with blending, and that's pretty much it. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to take this fluffy brush from Crown Cosmetics. It doesn't have a name, but it's just a regular, more flimsy type of blending brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Chic. It's just a light neutral pink, and I'm just going to run that all through the crease, taking it a little bit above the crease and blending into the brow bone. I tried to close some of the windows and things just to make sure that there wasn't a lot of noise peeking through, but it's just so hot and my heat is still on, they won't turn it off yet, that I have to keep everything open or else I'm really going to sweat to death. So hopefully there's some bip-boppity music happening in the background for you guys. So as you can see, that just left a nice natural crease and a nice flat transition color, all the other neutral shades that we're going to put in the crease. It kind of just does the blending for you because everything will fade out into a nice gradual transition. So I'm now going to take this Morphe M441, which is kind of more of a stiffer blending brush, and I'm going to go in with the second transition shade, which is the shade No Filter, and I'm just going to run that right through the crease and then softly blend it up into the color Chic. And to create kind of like a faux halo eye, I am taking it a little bit deeper into the inner corner and also dragging it down on the outer corner, because halo eyes can be kind of tricky, but this is kind of like faking a halo eye in that it looks like you're having a lot of shimmer on the center when really it's just about making the inner corner and outer corner just a little bit darker than you would normally do it. Because if you were to do a winged out effect, you would kind of just put all the darker color on the outer corner, but I kind of wanted to create an all over smoky effect, so I did do it in the inner and outer part of the eye, but I didn't want to do a halo eye because I didn't want to do something that was going to be a little bit too challenging for people, just in case you're a little bit more of a makeup beginner. So really this is just about running the entire shadow through the entire crease and then softly blending it into the transition. That way you can naturally build up the smokiness. Now onto our third transition shade. I'm going in with the Morphe M573 and then the color Drama. And because this is more of like a pointed tipped blending brush, I'm going to kind of focus this and pat it into the crease and then kind of blend it into the other transitions. So really just stamping it in to the crease and only kind of closing my eyes because I want to make sure that I'm blending it properly, but I also don't want to create something that you can't see when I open up my eye, if that makes sense. So I want to make sure that it looks good when my eye is closed and when it's open. And just same thing going in the inner corner and outer corner. Now kind of flattening out the brush, I am kind of raking this through the crease just to make sure that everything blends together. Now finally I am taking this small Morphe M513 brush, which is kind of like my small tapered blending brush that's really thin and gets into all the nooks and crannies. And I'm taking the darkest shade for this look, which is Vamp. And I'm just going to do the same thing but kind of focusing on the inner and outer corner a little bit more just to create that smokiness. So I hope I'm getting this video up at an appropriate time, guys, because There are a lot of people that already had their proms, and it's kind of crazy to think that prom could be so early for some people. I know one of my friends had her prom in like late April, and she was actually prom queen, so that's kind of cute. But I didn't have my prom, at least in senior year, until I think it was June 26th was the exact date that I had my prom. Or it was June 24th, and then June 26th was when I graduated, or it was June 28th. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was a great night, and I had a lot of fun. That's why I'm doing like more like of this smoky neutral look, because I wanted to do something that would fit with a lot of different dresses and stuff. Like I would do like a smoky brown eye, but I feel like that's just so common and that a lot of you guys already know how to do that, and I've done that a couple of times on my channel already. So I wanted to do something like a little bit different, but still something that's universal. So let me know what kind of dresses you guys are wearing, what the theme is for your prom, like, and maybe I'll do a second tutorial kind of based on that. I wanted to do more of a universal one and then kind of just focus on like the trends in like a later tutorial. I feel like I really missed out last year on doing a prom look. Because I'm not in college right now, it makes it a lot easier to do looks like this because I can do it on my own time. So now for the lid color, I'm going to take a mixture of Minx and Glam and use this flat full fluff / crease brush, the C163 from Crown, and then I'm going to use this e.l.f. illuminating misting set to spray my brush with. I don't like this as a setting spray, so I've kind of been using this just for doing foiled shadows, and it works really great. And for this, I'm not kind of like focusing it in one area. I'm not doing like a cut crease. I'm literally just gliding this across the entire lid. And so to kind of like smoke out the lash line a little bit, I'm gonna take a little bit of Punk on the opposite side of my dual-ended brush, and I'm just going to run that on the outer corner, and that's it. I'm not gonna take it throughout the entire lash line, but did want to add a little bit of drama to the lash line because I'm not doing liner for this look, as you could see. And then just with the flat brush, I'm going to take this shade Vintage, which is like perfect creamy white, and I'm gonna put that on the brow bone. For eyeliner, I'm going to be taking the Ulta Beauty eyeliner in the shade Blackout, and I'm just going to tightline with this. And the mascara I'm going in with is the Voluminous Lash Paradise. If you want something that's going to last a little bit longer and make your lashes a little bit more fluffy, if you're not doing false lashes, then I would recommend doing the waterproof, because this makes your lashes look so big and voluminous, but this one is not waterproof. It's not going to hold the curl as well. I do think that you could rock this look without lashes, but I feel like it adds so much dimension to the look. Like, look how different each side looks. It's insane how much of a difference the lashes make. So for lashes, I'm doing the EYELURE / Vegas Nay lashes in Grand Glamour, and these are actually one of the hardest lashes to apply. They are very affordable, but I always have difficulty applying these, so I don't necessarily know if I want to recommend these 100%. They do add such like a nice effect to the lashes. I'm going in with my Duo Lash Glue to apply these with. Already on this side, the inner corner is kind of popping up a little bit. I think it's just because they're so heavy. They're definitely not very comfortable either. Literally the only reason why I'm doing this is because I wanted the look to be really in your face. Just use whatever lashes you're comfortable with, and definitely do something that isn't going to hide the eye makeup itself, because these lashes are really crazy, but they don't hide the eye look too much, and that's why I picked them, because I have a lot of other lashes that are similar to this, but they just cover everything up. So I'd rather have this be like a wispy dramatic lash, let the eye look kind of like come through, than use something that isn't going to let it shine. So I'm going in with these, but they are a little bit much, I would say, especially if you're kind of a beginner with lashes, are very difficult. And for whatever reason, they never blend in with my lashes. I always have to go in with another coat of mascara to blend them. I don't know what it is. It's always such a big contrast between the lash itself and my actual lashes. You could see a definite, like, clear distinction between my actual lashes and my natural lashes. I think it's just because the band is so thick too. There's a lot of cons to these lashes the more that I'm talking about them. This tool is from Ardell. It's to make the lashes really connect to your natural ones, and also to press the actual lash band closer to your eyelid. It's a very helpful tool, but if you get glue on this end, it becomes so annoying because it could take your lashes off. So just be careful with that if you have a tool like this. Just gonna go in and blend these lashes together. kind of ruins the lash, but if you're just gonna use a lash for prom and nothing else, it's really not that big of a deal. And just taking a blending brush again and kind of softening the edges. Okay, so we are done with the eyes for now, so I'm going to move on to the base. And for that, I'm going to start off with my NYX Angel Veil primer. This is going to make your makeup not only look flawless on top of it, because it's clearing out all of the pores and fine lines and reducing the amount of oil that's in your T-zone, but it's also going to improve the texture of your makeup and make it last a lot longer. It just really blurs everything. Wow. That's how you know how hot it is in this room, is how red I just got. And just to prime more, I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. So this part is not necessary because I have a lot of darkness underneath my eyes. I am going to apply a little bit of concealer underneath my foundation. This is the L'Oreal True Match Concealer. Okay, and for foundation, I am going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I've been using this a lot lately because I've just like fell back in love with the finish of it. It doesn't exactly match my skin color right now, as you guys could probably have seen from my last foundation video, but I'm going to brighten it up with concealers and stuff. I just really like the finish, and I also think that this is like a perfect prom foundation because not only is it affordable, but it really mattifies the skin. So if you're dancing and you're sweating a lot, especially if you're oily, which I know a lot of teenagers are, it really like gets rid of all of the oil and leaves a nice natural finish to the skin. It's medium to full coverage as well, and also it doesn't have any SPF in it. If you're doing a foundation with SPF in it and you're doing flash photography, it's going to flash back. So what's good about having a foundation without SPF in it is that it's going to make sure that when you're taking flash photography, which we probably will be doing since your venues are probably going to be very dark, it's not going to flash back and you're not going to be washed out. So that's why I recommend using a foundation like this for all of its little benefits. And to blend that out, I am going to be using my beauty blender. And make sure if you're using a foundation that isn't exactly your skin color, that you are blending down the neck and everything like that. I'm not going to be too worried about it because I am going to lighten it up a bit, but I still want to make sure that everything looks even. Teaching you guys to the best of my ability how I would do my makeup for prom. I had someone do my makeup for me because I was a mess the day of my prom. I was last minute doing my nails, my hair. That took a while because I did really big curls. So I was just like a mess and I needed at least a little bit of time just to like relax, and for me that was having someone do my makeup, and I wasn't the best at makeup at the time. I definitely want to do a video on how I did my makeup in high school, but I was kind of thinking that instead of just doing like the basic like copying what I did, I never had one style. I did a lot of different looks all the time and they were all terrible, but I kind of want to do a video on like doing the makeup that I did in high school, but like if I were to do it today, like the different things that I would do with new techniques, because I really did not know anything about makeup. So I was like, do I want to do cream contour? Do I want to? And I thought, you know, it's not about me, it's about the night of prom and like what is going on. So I figured like doing cream contour would really be beneficial to teach because cream contour just makes the contour last a little bit longer. I'm going to go in with the Tarte Clay Stick Foundation in the shade Deep Honey. This is kind of like a bronzy contour because I don't want any of you guys to look washed out at prom. I'm taking this EcoTools blending sponge and I'm going to use the bottom of it, and I'm blending upwards, posted down, so that I'm not... This looks like really insane on camera, but it completely blends out. And I do my cream contour first because that way I could use my concealers to kind of blend it a little bit better and make sure that it is seamless with the foundation and everything. Because if I were to leave it like this, it would have been crazy. So if you do cream contour, it's going to last a little bit longer because not only do you have the first layer of cream contour, but then we're going to go over it with powders to set it. And so if you're setting all of those creams down with similar colored contours, then you are going to get a look that lasts a lot longer than if you were to just do powder, because the powder wipes away. Especially if you're really oily, it's going to completely melt. But if you have that second layer underneath, it's going to really help you out in the end. And then for concealer, I'm going to be a little bit extra, and I'm going to use two different kinds. So technically I have like 3 concealers on my face. That's just how I work and operate. I'm going to take the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Chantilly, and I'm going to put that on the under eyes. And then for other highlighting areas, I'm going to take what's left of my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Sand. I do this because I want a bright under eye, especially for prom. It's going to look so nice for photos because you're going to be completely brightened. And also because I don't want the rest of my face to be as bright as this concealer is. So I just go in with this really bright concealer for the under eyes and like that's it. And this really helps to make sure that the foundation is blending in with my actual skin tone a little bit better. I've been doing this a lot recently in my everyday routine for like really glam nights. I just like doing this just to kind of work with my foundations a little bit better because a lot of them are just really dark, but like the pale ones are just not appropriate for this weather anymore. Just to clean up the contour a little bit and also to hide a little bit of my redness. Now that I look at it, this is really like a lot. This is a lot of concealer. I'm just going to take my beauty blender again and just blend this all out. I'm gonna leave the under eyes for last just so that they have a chance to kind of like dry down and kind of have the most coverage possible. And I don't really do a nose contour because I have a very small nose to begin with, but if you want a reverse contour, using this concealer is really good to like push up against the nose and kind of make it look a little bit more narrow. And then just taking the bottom of my beauty blender where I use foundation and just kind of blending everything together, making sure there's no harsh lines if I feel like I got a little too crazy, which we all do. And then I'm also taking the orange color correcting brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just going to go around the nose and any creases that I feel I have, just to make sure that all the product is blended in those areas. I have a pimple like right here. Like, who does that? Honestly. Okay, so I'm gonna have crazy eyes for a second, and I'm going to take this Crown C531 brush and then my Earth CMA No Color Powder, and I'm just going to set my under eyes. I'm not gonna bake. If you want to, because you feel like it works a little bit better for your skin, and feel free to do so, but I, once again, am not going to prom right now, so I don't want to have dry cake face, so I'm just going to lightly set, and I'm just taking the excess that is on the brush, and I'm just lining that everywhere else. So see how I kind of match my hand a little bit better now? That's why I do what I do. Right, I'm just going to kind of set the powders down for now with my same primer water, and then go over everything with my beauty blender just to make sure everything sinks in. And then I'm just going to do the bottom eye makeup on this eye off camera like I did with the rest of it, and then I'll show you guys how I did it on this eye. Okay, so I finished this side, and I'm just going to show you guys how I did this side. It's really not that hard. I'm going to use the same tiny side of my duo-sided brush and then the shade Vamp. And I'm kind of going to take this almost all the way to the inner corner, but not quite, because I don't want to look like a raccoon. And I'm making it a little bit darker and a little bit thicker on the end, and more thin as we get into the inner part, because I kind of want it to like wing out, like see how this side's kind of like winging out. Then I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. crease brush in the shade Drama. I'm kind of going to do the same thing. Make this side a little bit deeper, and then softly blend it into the inner corner. My neighbor's really going ham now. Okay, and then taking my Morphe M411 and the shade No Filter, kind of smoking this out more. Once again, bringing the least amount of product into the inner corner, kind of to make our eyes a little bit more like that, as opposed to like that or like that. You know, does that make sense? I'm just going to take my Real Techniques face shadow brush, this flat one, and just the lash color, which is Chic. And I'm just gonna kind of go a little crazy with this and just blend everything out, make everything look a little bit seamless, kind of blend it into the transition. Really smoke out the inner corner now because it's the lightest color. Just really make sure that everything is blended out. Now I'm going to take Blackout again from Ulta Beauty, and I did mention this before, but I honestly think that this is like a very like foolproof eyeliner. Like, it really stays in the waterline. It doesn't really fade too much, because I feel like, you know, like that's a big concern, is having like an eyeliner that is really going to stay in the waterline. But I really do think that this one works. Like, I'm never really paying attention to that or very concerned with it, but I have noticed that this really stays. There are a lot of waterproof pencils on the market, but I could also say that it really stays in the waterline for long amounts of time, to the point where it's really frustrating when I have to take my makeup off. And just using the same Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal for the lower lashes. Alright, so to kind of finish up the face, I'm first going to go in with contour. So I'm actually going to go in with the e.l.f. contour colors, and I'm not going to lift up my pan because I have a blush that broke inside of it. It is from the Powder Contour Kit. I'll just leave a picture of it. I'm sure you guys have seen it and you've seen me use it a couple of times. Really good palette and really good colors. So I'm going to take a mixture of both of those colors together on my e.l.f. angled blush brush, and I'm going to kind of focus this on the outside, once again just setting the contour. Not going to take it too far in because I just want to kind of chisel out the cheek. And you don't really have to do too much work with this because you do have the cream contour underneath. Alright, so for bronzer, I'm going to use a very common color, nice and sheer, so it's not going to be too orange on the skin. This is the Decisions Formula Butter Bronzer, and this is the light bronzer. And then I'm going to take this ULTA bronzer brush. I said that this was my favorite combo of 2017, but it's also my favorite combo of right now. So I'm just going to use this to kind of add a nice little bronze to the rest of the perimeters of the face, such as on the jawline, on the areas that I may have not contoured on, and also the forehead. And if this is too bronzy for you guys, please feel free to use more cool tones. I don't want to do that because as far as prom goes, I think that because of the season and everything like that, everyone's going to be looking a little bit more bronzy as opposed to contoured and sculpted. If that something doesn't work with your complexion, then please feel free to use something different. Or a blush, just your standard e.l.f. blush palette. I think I'm going to use this color. I was going to use this color, but I think that this is just too pink and it's going to look really weird. And I'm going to take this Target Up and Up blush brush and just kind of apply that to the apples of the cheeks like I always do, making sure to blend it into my contour as well, just to make sure everything is seamless. And I've been kind of taking my blush a little bit higher up as well. Kind of want to round out my face a little bit more. Just going to automatically set my face with, once again, the primer water, and then just once again with the Beauty Blender to set everything down. And of course we have to do highlighter. The AMREZY one, because what else are you going to use, honestly? I still have the protective tape over it because I'm just so afraid of like it not looking pristine, so I just keep it on. But I am going to apply that with my Morphe M510 just on all of the high points. This is just such a good highlighter and it's very universal. A lot of skin tones can use it, and it kind of gives off a golden sheen, but on certain other ones it also gives like a silvery sheen depending on your undertones. So I feel like it is very workable and anyone can wear it. So definitely pick this up if you like how it looks on me, because it'll definitely look good on you. And I barely tap my brush back into the powder, and then I just softly put it on the forehead. I don't want like a shiny forehead, but I want a little bit of a sheen to it, so just lightly tapping my brush into the powder to get that effect. And then just taking my pinky finger with highlighter, and I'm actually going to put this on the inner corner. Then just going in with some brow gel. So I kind of took an angled brush and sculpted them, and then I went underneath with some NARS Chantilly Radiant Creamy Concealer to carve them out. And I've just been liking the way that that looks lately because I really don't know what to do with my brows lately. Okay, so now finally for lips, I'm going to be taking this e.l.f. matte lip color, and this is the shade Tea Rose. It's kind of a mauve-y purple that kind of matches the eyes. And I'm just kind of taking this on like the outer corners and also the lip line, and then the Cupid's bow to add a little bit of dimension. And then for the center, to kind of brighten everything up, I'm going to use the Pure Hollywood liquid lipstick. Not doing a gloss, I'm doing all mattes because this just, in my opinion, lasts longer. And also with the liquid lipstick, I feel like it transfers a lot less. And if you were to have a gloss, I ate a lot of food for my prom. And I wore a red lipstick that wasn't transfer proof, so I was redoing my lipstick the entire night. Thank God my makeup artist gave me the lipstick, or else I really would have been screwed. So I feel like this is a lot better to make sure that you have the look sealed in and that you don't have to reapply it every 5 minutes. And it gives a nice little pink rosiness that kind of matches the eye look, but gives it a little bit more warmth. I'm gonna go put on some jewelry and kind of complete the look because this looks a little crazy right now. Okay, so I am back and I put a little bit of jewelry on. I have a shirt on that kind of matched the look. I have my little earrings. But yeah, like this is the final look. I hope you guys learned a lot about certain makeup tips for prom night. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, then please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to get a good schedule out, trying to see what days work best, but also hit the notification bell if you are subscribed just to make sure that you know when my videos are going up. It's important to have that notification bell because sometimes my videos could get lost in your subscription feed. So if you want to know when my videos come out, then please do hit that bell and follow me on all my other social media accounts. They will be at the end of this video or in the description box too. And yeah, that's it. See you all in the next one. Bye.